Here's how to build the Gorgofex, the new wonder weapon on the Reckoning in Black Ops 6. After you've opened up a Pack-a-Punch, we're going to head to the research lab and find the Deadshot Daiquiri. And to the left of that perk machine, there's a computer that's going to flash a word. All you need to note is the first letter of the word. Mine is C. Now this is going to change every game, so just make sure you write down yours. You'll head across the room. This PC is located across from the PhD perk machine, and it flashed the letter E. So over at the periodic table of elements, we're looking for CE. Once you find yours, you're going to look in the top left corner. My number was 58. We're looking for a 3-digit code, so I'm going to plug in 058. Now, if your number is 2, for example, you'll plug in 002. You're going to head inside this room to this container and interact, and you're going to get a voice line. Maya said, "Little barnacle buddy." What you need to do is fill up the soul box. The machine is going to periodically suck in the vermin and zombies. What I tried to do is aim for body shots to try and weaken the zombies so the vermin would come out of them, and then sometimes I would shoot the vermin so you could see them going in the soul box as well. Once you've obtained enough souls, you can then see the lid open and you will interact to grab the full sys. Next, you're going to head down to the quantum computing core. You can just drop down the hole and you're going to be extracting etheric flora health. As you get closer, you're going to pull out the cyst. You don't have to do anything. It's just going to automatically pull it out when you get close to the flora. There's going to be 3 locations. These are going to stay the same every single time. So rather than heading towards the Janus reception area, head towards the director's office. You'll find that first one. And then before you get to the android assembly, you're going to see the second one. Now, as you do this, you can come close to the flora. You can go in and out as you need to. You're not going to be able to throw things like decoys while you're holding that up, so just make sure to play as smart as you can. You can use Aether Shroud or throw like a decoy ahead of time before you get next to the flora. The third one is just going to be right around the corner, and once you have filled all 3, you will be done with this step. For the next step, you're going to make your way to entity containment, and I would recommend saving just a couple of zombies and clearing the rest out. You're going to be interacting with 4 computers that say initiate power surge. If you're playing with a full squad, I would have everybody grab one at the same time because this is going to be timed. If you fail it, you'll need to run rounds until you're able to see that screen again. If you're solo, I was able to do it fine with my melee weapon. I also had PhD slider on my PhD perk. Now, I highly recommend getting down to a couple of zombies because this is going to call in an Uber Klaus. What you need to do next is shoot the electrical charges on his back. I'd recommend keeping your space on these because if he does hit you, they can be pretty deadly and you'll go down if you're not careful. Once you have shot both of the electrical charges, you're gonna stand on this little pad right in front of the Forsaken's container, and once he gets onto the pad, you're gonna see that white flash, and this is going to call in another Uber Klaus that's going to be named the Forsaken. So what you need to do is also take this out. I'd highly recommend taking it out as fast as possible. That way you're not failing the step. Now, he has a little shock charge, very similar to the shock mimics we've seen in previous Call of Duties. I would just be careful because there's a lot going on, especially if you're solo. And something else that was super helpful was Aether Shroud. When I popped it, he stood still. Now, this could be helpful if you're running in a squad. You can make sure you have that group shroud augment. But after you take out Uber Klaus, as a reminder, you're gonna have that Klaus core. Now, he is much weaker. But when you take down the Klaus core, you are going to have the Gorgofex. This is the new wonder weapon for the Reckoning. I hope this guide helped. Be sure to let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and follow for more Black Ops 6 Zombies content.